Muy buenas tardes, mi gente. Aquí con ustedes la Comadre B with another episode of Comadriando aquí y con café. As you can see, I'm still not 100%, but spirits are good. With me today, I have a special guest. He's right around our alley, checking out all these creepy, abandoned, but yet very interesting places. His name is Brandon.
Explored this.
Yes. And yeah, I brought him on the show today so we can obviously know more about him. You guys can check out his YouTube channel and learn something. That's what all these people do, their YouTube channel, so you can check out something besides TV. I would like to give my saludos to my mom. Hi, Mom. And I want to say hi to all the school staff again. I know I've said hi to you guys a while back, a couple weeks, but it is almost the end of the year. I know everybody's already letting their hair down and they don't even care no more. The other day we did open house and it just seems like these teachers are a totally different person. So hang in there, guys. We got a couple weeks to go and it is a wrap. Do you want to give any saludos to anybody?
Yeah, I want to shout out to my wife, my daughter, to everybody that's been watching me, supporting my YouTube channel and my journey. And yeah.
Where can they find you on YouTube?
They can find me at Brandon Explored This. That's all my handles.
There you go. As my guest here, I know it's been a while, guys, but I am giving him the Comadre tumbler. You owe me a picture with it, so just send it to me later, point at it, whatever it is you guys
Thank you very much.
want
I
to do.
That.
So I did mention, obviously, he is Brandon Explore This, but we'll get more into depth. So, what are you? ¿A qué te dedicas? Cuéntame todo. Tell us.
So, I'm an urban explorer that likes to explore abandoned places and historical landmarks. I do it all on YouTube and Instagram. I've gone to plenty of abandoned places, and yeah.
What is the farthest place you've gone to?
The farthest place I've gone to, I'd say, was in San Francisco. There's this old college they used to have there, and it was on Treasure Island.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, and it was pretty epic, like exploring that place. And then I went back, and then they demolished it.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, at least you got that last footage of the place.
Yeah, I have a picture of me right there, like wearing my hat backwards.
See, that's cool. Usually when we do our stuff too, I always get like video. And there's been a couple that like, oh, just buildings are gone now. It's like, oh, I got it though, you know?
Right? Yeah,
so yeah, that's
true.
a win for you. How many total places have you explored?
So I've explored hundreds of places since I've been like, I would say like 10 years old was the youngest I explored.
Really?
Somewhere. Yeah.
So he's a veteran.
Yeah, it was actually the Bell company. I don't know if you guys remember the Bell phone companies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was in Pasadena. They had an abandoned building. That was my first explore. I used to skateboard and stuff. And my friend and his dad used to take us to places and we would explore abandoned places and skateboard there. And that's kind of where I got the drive.
So that's what spiked you. Mm-hmm. That was my next question. What spiked you to do this? So you got it from him. He was a skateboarder up to no good, checking out places.
Abandoned places, you know. And back then there was no skate parks anywhere. So it was like you had to just figure it out, schools or abandoned places.
Yeah. Skate parks are new. They're like, they're still very hard to come up on, even though they're common. Because I know like here we have a little one in Pomona. There's one in Upland, but then I don't really know.
I just seen they're just building one in Covina now too.
Yeah, see, those are good to keep kids out of trouble. Because you know how that is. Hang around. I always say if there's more than 3 kids together, they're up to no good. I don't care what anybody says, it's the truth. It's more than 3, watch them because they're up to no good. Okay, so you getting ready to go check out a place. First of all, what do you sit here and like think, like how do you come up with how you're gonna go, like what place you're gonna go investigate? Do you study it or you just randomly pick something on the map, or how do you do that?
So yeah, basically I do a bunch of research and then find a place. Sometimes I'll just be driving by, like right now I drove by, there's some abandoned places down here. I'll be driving by and I'll save it on my Google Maps. And then I'll go and stake out the place, kind of like how the police stake out. And I'll just like sit there and just look at it and see like if there's homeless people living there, just things, you know, how the city is. Sometimes I go pretty far, 2-3 hour drives, and I don't even know where I'm going, you know. Yeah, so I have to stake it out for a little bit, and then if I feel comfortable, I go in.
So with that being said, how do you prepare to go? Like, okay, you get a backpack. What's in that backpack?
So in my backpack, I take like 3 cameras. I bring a bunch of batteries just in case anything goes wrong. I also, the number one thing I can't forget is my SD card. I've forgot my SD card like many times and had to go like to Best Buy and stuff like that. But if I was in the desert, I don't think I would be able to find a Best Buy, you know?
Yes.
So that's very important to remember to bring your SD card, and also water, some snacks. Just sometimes I'm like 3 hours away by the borders and things like that. It's like there's the nearest store is like an hour away, you know?
See, so be prepared, people. I'm guilty of the whole SD cards hierarchy. One time we were trying to do a session and I couldn't record anything. He had to end up recording it on his phone. Oh my God, it was just a freaking nightmare that day. But yeah, you guys heard it. If you want to be an explorer, be like Dora and carry a backpack because it will save your life.
They have there, and I guess there's a bank in there and all this stuff.
I think you should check it out. I went and I did some checking out, but there was like an actual security guard in there. So I was just like, can I just look? And he's like, okay. So I didn't want to get all deep and just walk everywhere. I just went where like the belt is to get your luggage. And then I went around and it was cool. Like, it's just crazy because nobody's there no more. So it's like, oh, what's over there, you know?
Sometimes we stumble on these places, but we have the kids.
Yeah, and then I want to get busted with my kids.
Yeah, me too. It says no trespassing, but I want to go trespassing, and then I have my kids, so it's like kind of like that's endangering my child, you know?
Like
that's what the cops are gonna think, I guess.
The Spadra that you just did the other day, like that is our spot. Like we love that place. We've been there like a bunch of times too, and it's like, okay, the gate is wide open, but we have the kids. Like, what do I do? Just leave them in the car and go? Then what if something happens? It's like, geez. So then it's like, Mom, you need
it's
to
not a
watch
too
them.
good area right there. There's like a lot of dispensaries, strip clubs, all that stuff right there, you know?
And actually,
a lot of traffic.
The homeless people, those are the more dangerous, I think. Because you don't know what state of mind they're in or what can possibly happen. And I mean, like, for us, speaking as adults, like, we can fend for ourselves if we came in an encounter with them. But
yeah, we're not thinking they're going to take our kids.
You know, it's like,
they're going to stab them. They're going to take them hostage, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, no, I'm with you with that whole, it's like
you guys go into Spadra through the side, like the other side? You know,
well,
there's
the
a
gate's
gate.
wide open now.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. I would just go through, like, there's another side part, and I would go
past the
so go under
right?
the bridge, you know,
yeah.
Under the freeway, and then it's like right there. It's like industrial area, and then you just walk. And then you have to go back under again.
The main gate's open now.
Yeah, they left it open.
They got tired of people breaking.
And the cops just keep going there and keep going there.
You know what? They're going to go on there regardless. Just leave the gates open. Start conversation and start chopping it up with them. So he was kind of just like, oh yeah, man, so I really haven't seen nothing here, but over here I see. And he started just getting.
But when we went in, I'm not gonna say how we got in, but obviously we broke the law and got in. I know he's seen us there, but he was more scared of us than we were of him. Like, we knew worst comes to worst, get out or call the cops. There, it's done. But I could like see him after a while, like he was watching us but not coming to us. So it was kind of cool because we were able to investigate the whole place. They have like a big old bird cage. Have you been there to the Guasti village?
No, I've never heard of it.
Oh my God.
That's your next one.
Right off of Haven?
Yeah, that's right off of Haven where Carvana's at.
Where Carvana's at.
Old winery. But all where the workers live, the house is still there.
Some.
The huge buildings, so there's an actual church.
It's all abandoned?
There.
Yes.
All those buildings are, yeah, the houses, but they keep like
it's a preservation, yeah.
Maintenance uses one of the main buildings, but the other ones are all abandoned. And across the street, it's a little dead end street. It has a church that is actually
He built it. The guy's name was Segundo Guasti.
Sick.
He came from Italy in the 20s, and his whole deal was to make a little ranch here like he had back at home. So he named it Guasti, like his rancho over there in Italy. So he got into the grape business and they started doing wine. So he started bringing people over from Mexico with that whole Bracero Act. I don't know if you heard of that. That was really big back in the 30s, 40s, where you were able to petition for people to come work for you for that purpose to work.
Well, it's because World War II was happening, so they're bringing in immigrants to work the fields while all American men were at war.
But it was called the Bracero Act. So as he would bring these people over here to work for him, he started building little homes for them. So he had a bunch of bungalows that were there. Those are the ones that are still standing. They have them covered. They have them really well preserved. The ones that are still there. And like a lot of...
So that's how a lot of people got their way to like citizenship, through that guy? Like kind of like... how was it? Wasn't the Ronald Reagan Act? You guys hear about that too? And a bunch of people got their way to citizenship.
Yes.
Like, and a lot of people were scared around that time to like do it because they thought the government was kind of
take them.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know. But then all those people that did it, they all got their citizenship.
I don't know what it's called in English. It's called the amnistías in Spanish. When Ronald Reagan was doing them.
It's kind of like a relief, like you're good, and they were already here, and they just got their citizenship. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, that's what he did. And at the
I'm
same
all for the
time,
immigrant act, like I'm all for that stuff. My wife's from Zacatecas.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
You eat a lot of nopales?
Yeah. That's crazy how you know.
I know my people. Yeah, no, he did good. Like, he did wonders because a lot of people were single. So what he would do is have bunkers. So all the single girls sleep here. The single men stay over there, and the people that had actual families, he would have them in their own little houses. So yeah, he built a church across the street that was exactly the churches, and it's really haunted.
There's a post office there too.
There's a post office, which is just like a portable, but it was to service
so it's like
that
a small
area.
town.
Yes.
In what, Ontario or?
It used to be a corporated city of Guasi. Now it's part of Ontario.
It's literally
Just like
across.
Spadra.
Yes.
Literally just like Spadra,
It's literally across the freeway or across the street from the airport. So you can literally drive and you can see it.
Those are those buildings that are right there, and then there's one big old building, and there's a
all
bunch
the
of
skeleton.
houses. Right, and all the houses.
That's Guasi.
So yeah, I've been by there, and right now they put tarps over all the buildings to like preserve them.
White ones.
I've never seen this at any abandoned place I've ever been to. Like them actually preserving the buildings,
Matter of fact, they filmed that movie Seabiscuit, a part of it there.
With the horses, right there.
Part of that movie is
That's
filmed
crazy. Right there, right next to the airport, the busiest part in Ontario. You know what I mean? And it's all like Seabiscuit.
Yeah.
That was nice. The whole story.
The train tracks on Mission, there might be holes in the fence.
Yeah.
So you could be able to get in. You're gonna get a little dirty, but you could get in.
And you guys see the right there? There's like a bunch of streets that have like no buildings. Like they tore down all the houses right there. It's right next to
California, where you took your pictures.
Oh, okay.
And then they try to build like a.
There's just like streets like everywhere.
Yeah. They were gonna build a homeless encampment there, and then they did. The rest of the city was like, nah, we don't want that here.
Right next to the airport,
On California Street.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And Mission. Down in Ontario. Yeah. No, yeah. Look into Guasti. A lot of nice history. And then we were covering the Zoot Suit riots. So the guy that got killed, that started all that, is buried at the Calvary in LA. So we were in there just checking out the scene, and we found Guasti. He has a whole crypt. Him and his wife are in there. Oh my God. I have it on my Instagram. We were like, what the hell? It was like Disneyland to us. Like,
right.
He is right here. Like, you could see through the crack, and there's
it's like going to the Spadra cemetery, and then you see Phillips.
My God. That's how he was.
What?
We have a picture of him all excited with Philip right
He's
there.
He's like right here, you know?
Yes. On Saturday.
The richest man in Los Angeles at one time.
Sunday, the Phillips Mansion's open for tours this Sunday. So if you want to check it out, it's $15 a ticket, and they're open all day. Yeah, we're part of the
I thought it was only open
society.
on Halloween, Once
a month they do. They alternate.
Sells out fast.
Yeah.
Sells out. They do Spadra also.
Where they go to the
Halloween.
cemetery?
Yeah,
Halloween,
but you gotta get the tickets like a month and a half before. You don't, you're not gonna get it.
Okay, so is this whole exploring like part of your lifestyle, or do you just do it like a hobby?
It's definitely a lifestyle and like an addiction. Like I get out there and it's like I don't even think about anything else. I just think about exploring and how much fun I'm gonna have just being out there. And like even like if somebody I get paid from it, I wouldn't even care about getting paid. I would still want to go explore abandoned places.
Go check it out.
Like,
Yeah,
I would never sell out. You know,
Yes.
I wouldn't sell out to be like, oh, now I have to do places that are legal and this and that. I don't think I would ever do that because like I said, I'm driving down the street and I see something abandoned. I'm like kind of wanting to go then and there. Even my kids are in the car. You know, it's like. Yeah.
So what are your influences behind it? Like, did you see somebody, or it was just when you first started seeing that Edison, the Bell building, that was like, okay, this is what I like?
So from skateboarding, I was into graffiti at one time. So that kind of, you know, I saw so many abandoned places. I've been to so many abandoned places. When I was 13 years old, I went to this abandoned place. It was in downtown Los Angeles on 3rd Street, you know, or I think it's 3rd Street. But you know where City Hall is? It's Grand. It's not 3rd Street. It's Grand. Where City Hall is on Grand. It's the big LA City Hall.
Oh, yeah.
So right there's a park now right in front of it. But originally there wasn't the park there, and there was just this little like cement like barrier. It was about like this big, and it looked kind of like a electrical or something on the floor, and it had a hole. And we went in there at nighttime, just through there, and it was like if you were going in the sewer, you know. But when we got down there, it was a big room, and it was completely pitch black, and we were like 6 different other people, and it was an old police station for LA, and like you could see like where the cars used to come down to park, and it was part of the parking structure down.
Crazy.
You know?
Is it still like accessible?
So they cemented up that little part. I don't know if somebody got trapped down there or anything, but they you know put concrete right there, and now there's the park on top of that. But like, there's kids playing right there. They don't even know that there's a police station that used to be there. You know, the old LA police station.
Now I'm gonna go look.
Yeah, you gotta investigate.
Where is it at?
Find a hole like right there, and if you get in, that you're gonna go underground. And right next to it is actually those old tunnels that were from like the city hall. You go down there and you go all the way to the bottom. There's like these old tunnels that they used to smuggle in alcohol through. Oh, and it was prohibited.
The only tunnels Pomona has is from the jail to the court. That's cool. Oh yeah, so there you guys go. You learned something, right? So let me ask you, how do you stay alive? What keeps you going?
So what keeps me going is like my family, obviously. That keeps me motivated and, you know, always good to go. Also, my church. Shout out to my church.
Who's your church?
CFF. Shout out to CFF in Montebello. We have like a cell group where we meet at home. And everybody's really cool, and we all have like good relationships, you know. And they all support me with exploring abandoned places.
That's so cool.
The first time I met one of the guys that actually invited me to church. Shout out to 626 Authentic. He invited me to his church, you know. And this is a new church that I've started going to. And that day we went and we explored an abandoned place. But then we planned to do another one, and when we went to that other one, there was somebody he invited from his church, an older lady. And she came out with her kids. It was so cool, you know, and she was just so intrigued. And that was like my first time meeting somebody from his church. And I was like, oh, this is really cool, you know, like how, like I was at another church and some people like don't even get to know you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because maybe they think I'm like something or something else. I don't know. You know, who knows, you know? But yeah.
It happens. But yeah, that's cool. So.
But that's where I feel like peace.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah. Like me, that's why all my episodes I always say, hi, Mom. Besides him helping me out, supporting me and everything else, the only one that's my biggest fan is my mom. Like, she's always like, oh my God, you know? So it's like, yeah, it feels like really cool to have like that audience, that support, that love, and that interest. You know what I mean? Like, I have a bunch, I'm going to say it, I have a bunch of fake ass fans. And they're all male, of course. Oh, yeah. And then you question, like, okay, did you see my last episode? Oh, no, I didn't. Then get out of here. You're not really a fan then, you liar. You're a poser. Right. So, yeah, no, I get what you mean with that one. That one's a good one.
Yeah, I got nieces, nephews that be watching my stuff and talking
and they
about
like it.
You know?
Do they ever want to, like, hey, take me with you?
No, they're kind of scared, you know? Sometimes they're like, oh, it's pretty scary, you know?
The last episode where your little girl came with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did she like
bunkers.
that?
She liked it a lot. You know, we did get locked inside of so the gate was wide open, and it's like no trespassing, you know, and we're like, hey, let's just go in, you know? So we went in, and we're walking around, and then a truck came in, and I'm like, oh, you need a duck. I'm like, just duck right now, just duck, because I don't want to get caught with my daughter there. That's not a good influence, you know. So I'm like, just duck, and she just ducked.
Charges.
But luckily, the guy, he just went in, turned around, and he locked the gate. And it was a city worker.
So how'd you guys get out?
So
Climb?
she was able to fit through, but I had to climb it, and she recorded me climbing.
That's the best though, right there. That's all in your episode.
Yeah, it's all in the video. Yeah,
check it out, guys.
And we got stuck right there.
Yeah, I'll put the little picture on there so you guys could go find him and check it out. Cause yeah, these are like real. To me, it's real fun. I love bringing my kids along with me. First of all, to teach them something, because obviously schools don't teach you local history. They teach you crap, I think, you know, things that don't even matter. So yeah, like it's a rush, like for me. And I tell him either you come or you come, and that's it. And then he gets all like, okay, he's intrigued too, like, okay, we're gonna go do this. But I don't know, to me, like doing the whole family affair is the best. It's just like, let's go check this out. Like, there's not one thing in Pomona that you can talk to my kid, the older one, that she doesn't know about already. She'll be like, no, this and that, and you throw her like different facts out there, she'll correct you real quick, like, no.
That's how it is, though. You gotta include your kids like in everything, you know.
See, and for me personally, I love Pomona. I love it here. We've been residents on and off for 13 years. Literally every zip code we have lived here, and it breaks my heart that people have an impression of Pomona where they only think about the hood and the streets.
Yeah, prostitution and drugs.
Exactly. Obviously, they're there. You know, you can't deny it.
But you got downtown Pomona.
But we
with
have
the
so
best
much
food.
history.
You got like the history of Spadra. You got the college. There's just so much.
Knott's Berry Farm. He went to Pomona High School. I don't know if you knew that, but it's like we're just so rich on history, and that's what I want my kids to know, versus the bad stuff where they're ashamed of where they come from. Both my kids were born in Pomona Hospital, so they're like, we always joke with them like, you guys are full-on Pomonians, you know. And it's like, no, be proud of the good stuff, you know, whatever. There's always the ghetto, the hoods everywhere. You can't, you can't avoid them. They're there. But know where you come from and all the good stuff that comes with your area, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's why, I don't know, I think it's real important to involve the family, your kids, you know, your spouse, whatever. Like, do it as a family. It's like fun that way, you know?
Right? Like, since my daughter's been like, I'd say like 1 or 2, we've been taking her to concerts, like all the concerts, all that stuff. We just take her with, you know?
Yeah.
We've never had babysitters. Like, we try to include her in everything,
like,
you know?
My mom's the only one, and here and there, like...
Yeah, here and there. Like,
either
if
we all
really
go,
need to
or nobody goes.
You know?
Yes. Yep,
but
that's us.
We try to make sure that you can take your kids everywhere we go. You know?
Yeah, you could have brought them too, just to let you know.
Yeah.
So, from your first exploration to now, how have you grown?
I've grown with my editing skills, with new cameras, with just finding new spots in general. Like, I got over 100 spots saved in my phone right now, just like waiting to go, you know. I'm just like, I wish I could do it every day, like, you know. But I do have a regular life, regular job,
freaking work
kids,
gets in the way, huh?
you know, everything that we got going on. But I'm lucky I do have my wife to help me through everything, because if I didn't, I don't know how I would even do this, you know.
See, wife, he loves and appreciates you. That's like the second time he's talked about you. Yeah, no.
But it is true, you know, like she watches my kid when I'm going on those 3-hour drives. That's a whole entire day. That's like 6 hours just on the road plus to explore, you know.
So you don't take them all the time?
No, not all the time, because like I said, some of the places are just crazy, and you're also near the border, you know. That's
what I was going to ask you next. What has been your biggest challenge with your exploring?
With my exploring, the biggest challenge? I mean, I've fallen. One time I fell through a 2-story building. I was just walking, and I just... and that was in the San Francisco abandoned college over there.
Oh, shit.
And
were you alone?
No. So I was with people that were doing like photography and stuff. And so then I was like, oh, you know what? Let them go model and do their thing, you know?
Let me go
and I'm going to go through this door and check this out and see what this was. And it was like a room right next to a pool. So I guess it was probably where they would change or something. Who knows, you know? And I was just walking through, and I wasn't even paying attention.
What did you fall on? What was down there?
It was just like wooden floor, you know? And it just cracked, and I just fell right through it. And if I would have fallen like over here, I would have fell like right through a wooden thing and just probably been dead, you know?
Oh my!
So that was
you like
epic.
really messed up?
No, I didn't even get messed up. I just started watching. Everybody's like,
Oh my God.
Brandon, where are you? What happened? Because they all came in there and they didn't see me because I fell right through, you know?
Oh my God, like a cat. Like, I'm good. Meow.
Yeah.
Damn, that
was
is
epic.
crazy. Wow.
And then also we've had like, I used to explore with a buddy of mine and we caught like orbs and we weren't even looking for this stuff, you know? And we were at the George Air Force Base. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yeah.
It's in Victorville.
Yes.
And we were in these old like buildings. They're like where people used to live that would come there to visit, or the people on base would live at. And it looks like big old motels, you know. And we were going through every single room. The last room that we chose to do the outro at is when the orb just like
Popped out.
yeah, it just pops out of nowhere and then goes into nothing. And it was crazy because at that time I saw a shadow, and that's all I saw was a shadow at that time. And then when my friend was editing the video later on, he's like, dude, I found something. And I'm like, what the heck? That was a shadow that we saw in the room.
Yeah.
And it was the orb. So
Well, that was going to be my next question. Because I know you're obviously religious. We all have the faith. But have you ever, besides this, encountered other paranormal, unexplainable, crazy crap out there?
yeah, and also we were in like this missile silo thing, and we were underground, and right there was a pole. It was on the floor, a metal pole, and my friend was standing right here recording me, and I was talking. Like we were in the bunkers where they used to lay down on these beds, on these cots, and I was talking to him, and then I looked down on the floor, and that pole's just moving on the floor, going whoa, 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 whoa. And I look at him, and I look down, like, are you doing that, you know? And he wasn't doing that.
Was this the
and I was
same
like,
place?
let's go. And he looked down, and we got out of there.
Was it the same?
No.
Where was this at?
This was at the Nike missile launch site. So this is where they used to launch missiles. Not the one I just went to.
Take your notes, guys.
But the one I went to first. And yeah, I actually went down there, and yeah, we saw that pole moving, and we both we looked at each other, looked at the pole, looked at each other, and just got out of there as fast as we could.
So have you ever felt like you'd taken anything negative home with you?
No, I don't think I've ever taken anything negative home with me. But when I was a kid, at my old house, that was pretty haunted. Like my old house was pretty haunted. Like one time I woke up in the middle of the night, and I just like woke up off the couch, and I was like this looking up, and there was just orbs, and it was literally looked like electricity in the sky, just flying like this in circles. And my mom said she saw the same thing in the house.
So it was real.
So yeah, I not only me, you know, I wasn't just a little kid. A little kid that saw it. Yeah, she saw it too. You know,
damn,
somebody
that's
older.
crazy. Have you found anything like mysterious witchcraft stuff like that you can't explain? Like what the hell is this? You have?
Yeah, so we explored the Devil's Gates in Pasadena.
Okay.
And supposedly they used to do rituals there, and this guy, they found him there, that he killed a bunch of people and he built the freeways, and then he put them inside the freeway, in the concrete in the freeway.
I bet
There's
you
like a
didn't know
story
that.
about that, and yeah, and they found him there all crazy, and I guess he had killed like a bunch of people. And then there was this other guy, I forgot, he was somebody famous, and supposedly he was starting like a cult down there, and it's just a tunnel that you go to the end, and at the end we saw there was bags, and in the bags were like flowers and just
Witchcraft stuff.
yeah, and it had like hair. It had we didn't touch it at all. We didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
There was candles everywhere on the floor, pentagrams everywhere, like stuff burnt. Like they burnt letters that they wrote to somebody, and they were all burnt.
Weird.
Pictures burnt.
No, one time we were house hunting to buy a house, and here in Pomona we found so much crap in the house. It was scary, huh?
Trying to buy a house.
There was hair, there was like blood, there was candles that were obviously melted. I
wonder if they did that like
huh?
after, like
The house was
you know?
empty.
It was empty,
And
so
when
nobody
there
was
like
there.
A wall in the middle of the room with hair and all kinds of feathers and shit.
Feathers and blood and
Yeah.
melted there was a pentagram también, no? Around it, and the bowl was right in the middle. Yeah, it was so scary. I was
That's
like,
kind of like how it looked like.
I don't scare easy, and not like I said, okay, let's go now. Like, I don't want this house. I don't even want to look at the rest of
I
the
feel scared
house.
at like
Let's
probably
go.
every abandoned place I go to. I still feel that urge, like
Uneasy.
that uneasy. Yeah, like the hair on my back is kind of like, you know, like sketched out.
But are you more scared of?
Yeah.
Are you more?
I want to keep going, even though I'm scared. I just want to keep going and see the rest of it. You know.
Are you more scared of like the transient people you might run into, or the unknown? What scares you more?
I would say the transient people, just because I feel like I'm strong with my faith, you know. But the transient people, like,
You never know.
You never know, somebody's gonna be in a room just hiding with a knife or a gun and just charges at you, and that's it, you know. Like, because there's people that are living in all these places,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Most of the time, when I do hear stuff, it's like birds. I don't know if you guys encounter birds.
Yeah.
A lot of abandoned places are birds, things like that. But that one with the energy just moving the pole was just like, whoa.
We always have the energy moving this or moving that or talking about this, like yeah, we always have a bunch of unexplained everything. So some people say you're lucky, the ones that want to run into it. I think it's really scary, and we always bring something home. It's crazy, like I've said it before in my other episodes, when we go to church, for sure that night my house is active. Cabinets in the kitchen, you hear footsteps, this and that, blah. Every time, church never fails. And it's crazy because we do go to church, you know, often. And yeah, like just last weekend we had a funeral. I didn't feel nothing last weekend. I didn't hear nothing. Well, we've been sick, so I haven't been all there. Like, I'm just like ready to die every day. So it's like, you know, but it's just like, I always feel like we always bring something back. It's crazy. Like,
do you guys feel like, I would say, like, do you feel like when you go to, like, say a cemetery and you don't know somebody that's buried there, do you feel more scared? Or when you go to a cemetery that you know somebody's buried there, you don't feel no fear, right? Like it's, I go to my grandma's cemetery, and it's a historical cemetery, right? And I don't feel no fear that knowing she's there, you know?
And then you go somewhere else and you're like...
Yeah, I go to another
Really?
historical cemetery, and sometimes I'm kind of on edge, you know? Especially alone. Everywhere I explore, most of the time I'm alone, you know?
It's like, I don't know, to me, I like cemeteries. They bring me peace. I always like this. To me, a cemetery is so much going on where there shouldn't be nothing going on. And it, like, I love the nature. So I'll go and you hear the little birds, and then there's a breeze, so the trees, and then
you see the light come out.
It's like nice to me. I love it. I would rather sleep at a cemetery than sleep in a church. Go figure. I don't know. It's crazy. Rose Hills is where all his family's at. I have people at the what is it? The Sacred Heart. So it's like I don't feel no different. I love going to cemeteries, period. I go and I read all the headstones, and I'm just like, man, when they're little, like, what happened to
like,
them?
oh, this baby was like 4 years old.
Yeah,
that's
it's like,
buried
what
like right next to my grandma
happened?
too. And every time I'm looking at it, like, and she died during like World War One. I'm like, whoa,
What happened
you know?
to you? And it's like crazy because like people don't believe. Like, I'm really superstitious, period. And you know, before we had our kids, we were like every other freaking troublemaker. We had court dates, we wouldn't show up. So a lot of it, like, we had a lot of issues with the law. We did.
Yeah, me too. And like, until I finally got out of that way, I started seeing ways like moving and changing for me that like I never saw. You know what I mean?
And with us, his grandfather is buried right next to a cop. So we started taking flowers to this cop, and I made my peace with him. I said, you know what? Talk to your people, give us a good vibe. Like, I'm tired of being in trouble. Like, man, we're not these people. Like, be stupid, like, just a warrant for not showing up to court. I couldn't get out of work. So it's like, I'm not on this run list because I'm bad. Like, I just couldn't get out of work, you know? And then, like, thank God now, if you guys know, if you're bad people like me, you know, they forgave that whole ticket thing. But like about 12, 13 years back, if you didn't have a license, it was a ticket and a ticket and a ticket. They finally forgave all that. So if you owed money on tickets and you had a suspended license, they went ahead and forgave you for that.
Back then you had to pay like
I was at $5,000 over freaking
in order to get a
5
license
tickets.
back.
It's like, okay, the law was so stupid. Like, to me, it made no sense. Okay, you can't drive.
But I have to go to work. I have kids.
How are you gonna get to work?
Yep.
Okay, you cannot drive to get to work. If you do not work, how are you gonna pay these tickets? And each one was like $1,200. You'd be like, $1,200. You have until
that's literally
whatever.
the system got us like trapped.
Yes.
You know? Like, that's the trap that like like homeless people are facing right now, because they get in trouble for trespassing, they get in trouble for petty crimes like drinking in public, just petty crimes, and then they don't show up to court because they don't have transportation, they don't have this, you know what I mean? And then now they're in jail for petty crimes, you know? Like, the system just wants to like make money and take money, you know?
That was crazy. Like, after I made my peace with this officer, every time we go, I take him a flower, take him this, a candy, whatever. We ain't in trouble no more. I don't know if it's because we're productive, good citizens now. I don't know if he heard it. I don't know what it is, but man, before just driving next to a cop, we're getting pulled over. Like, that's it. Make sure your seatbelt's on.
And I think it's like that hate that we held in our hearts. Like, God. I held hate against police just because I was like, F the police, you know, like NWA, you know, like we had that song bumping, you know, like that's literally how I was. Yeah. I had that attitude of being like that, and like, not everybody's bad, you know what I mean? Not everybody's bad. Just because that's their job. Yeah, no, you know? There's some that do take their power. Yeah, and take advantage of people and stuff, and that should be known, but that you can't be like acting like a criminal, because then when you're driving in your car and you see the cop driving next to you, now you're like, oh my God. Yes. All scared, when you should be like, yo, you know what I mean? Yeah, yo, I'm chilling, you know? Because, yeah, I've seen that same thing with me. Like, I would get pulled over all the time for no reason. And now it's like, it's not. Yeah. I made that peace, like, you know? I don't know if it's because, like you said, we're grown now. It's a like, I don't know. But before, for some reason, there's a cop around us, that's it, we're getting pulled over. Mm-hmm. And now I'm gonna get in trouble for something dumb. Even up to now, this one's still like, there's a cop behind us, fuck, he's gonna come fuck with us. And I'm just like, stop saying that. Like, we have insurance, our tags are good. Like, it feels like you're in a ocean and the sharks are coming, and when the sharks are coming, we gotta get out of here, you know what I mean? That's how I felt. Like, I still feel like that sometimes around police, because I've been to juvenile hall, I've been, you know, arrested for stupid stuff. One time I was at the mall, and one of my friends tagging was on the window right there, was scratched in the window, right? And I was with like a group of friends, and there was, I guess, a security guard following us, and all I did was point at it. I was like, oh, look, that's his tag, he's in jail, free him, you know? And that's all I said. And the security guard came over there and he's like, oh, I just saw you tag on the window. I'm calling the police, and they banned me from the mall. I had to go to court. All this stuff for something I did not do. You know? Yeah, so that's why, you know, it kind of gives that resentment to the cops, because it's like, you know, like, oh, I didn't even do nothing, and now I'm getting in trouble for this. One time I got in trouble because my friend stuck a sticker on me and it had my name on it, like in graffiti, you know? And then the cops came up and pulled me over and got me in trouble for that, for violation of probation. You know how long I was on probation? 12 fucking years. And I used to go over here to Pomona too. I used to go to the Pomona probation right here. The lady was miserable. I'm talking like miserable. She said, I'm gonna make you go through hell. Right in front of my grandma. My grandma was like, something's wrong with that lady, you know? Yeah. Now she tried to drug test me. I didn't even have a drug case, and she's like, I'm gonna make sure I could drug test you. I'm like, it's not legal. We were notorious at West Covina. That was our place all the time. It's like, and then to top it off, he had his cousin's uncle worked there, so he would just look at us, and then he'd just be like, it's like, so embarrassing. Yes, but now we're good now. Like I said, you know, we've been good. We're domesticated, responsible civil people now for about 13 years. Since I became pregnant, I'm like, you know what? We're done with all this. We're done. I'm not going to be sitting in jail all panzo. No, we're done. Right? That's like, it. You know? It's going to cost a lot of money, more responsibility. That's what kids will do. Yeah, you know? They'll just we're done. Ways for you. Yeah, his family used to call us Bonnie and Clyde all the time. Like, we really had that name. Like, what are they up to now? Who knows? Only they know. But now it's done. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, if it's because we're better people now, or because we made peace with that officer, I don't know. I don't know, but every time we still go over there, I say hello. He cleans the whole headstone off. He's been dead for a very long time, since like, what, 93? 96. Yeah. So a lot, you know, it's sitting there for long times, because like you'll see the tractor marks on there, like nobody visits them. Yeah. So we'll clean it, and I'll drop them off a flower. And it feels good to give like, and not, you know, like just to give, like to give, you know, like it even feels good to give to your own, but it feels good to just give to somebody that's not receiving anything, you know?
Yeah, and that's what like saddens me when you walk around and like they're the forgotten. Like, man, they mattered so much at one point and now they're just here. Like, where are their family? What
Like
happened?
everybody that went to war, the veterans, they're just sitting in
Yes.
there, like, and probably people don't even visit them because they've all passed, or you know?
Yeah, it's so
and they didn't
sad.
even teach their generation after generation about them, you know?
People. And there was a man that lives like in the Midwest somewhere. His grandfather was buried at a park. They made a park out of an old cemetery in San Bernardino. And he wanted me to please go back and see if by any chance his grandfather's, like, the stone was still there. So it's like cool, like people are actually paying attention. Like, this is so cool. And I haven't had a chance to go back over there. But yeah, right there they built a park over the cemetery. And again, the people that were unable to be claimed, they're still there. So it's like people are having a picnic right here and there's a bunch of headstones over there. It's crazy.
Just like the Colorado Street Bridge, they built a park like on the bottom where everybody jumped to. You know what I mean? There's kids playing there, probably don't even know that this is the bridge hundreds of people have jumped off, you know? It's crazy.
What, Pasadena?
Yeah, you know?
Have you ever been to the haunted forest up there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Have you seen anything weird?
I was just always scared because when I went, I was younger and I used to go with my older sister and stuff, and I was just always scared. We saw but there was people. Actually, one time my sister told me that there was a story of like people chasing her.
Yeah.
There was like KKK doing some weird
yeah.
rituals or something, lighting something on fire, like a cross. I don't know, but that she saw and they started chasing her out because I guess that's the story. It used to be like.
And the Salem that burned down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my cousin went up there one time and they pulled out a gun on them. So they ended up running everywhere. Like, my aunt actually took my cousin and they split up. I don't know where the hell my aunt went on one side and my cousin and her dad were on the other. No, her uncle were on the other side. And they pulled out a gun on them. So they ended up like running back down the hill. I don't know. We've never been there. We've always wanted to go, but
It's all the way up lake. And then like in LA, there's just so much stabbings and stuff. That's what really scares me about the homeless. But I'm actually going to do a collab video with this guy, Aris, that he gives back to the homeless people, like sleeping bags and just like
nice.
essential stuff, you know, and we're going to do a collab video pretty soon.
That's cool.
I wanted to take him to this abandoned place in LA. It's like an abandoned hospital. And when I got there, everybody looked decent. Like there was a lot of homeless. I'm talking like probably 30 or 40 homeless people living in there. There's one building that there was a bunch just living in, and there's another one and another one. And I'd seen like all the traffic from there. And they all look like decent people, like they work and stuff, you know, they just don't have nowhere to go. So
Yeah.
I wanted to go to there, you know?
Yeah, it sucks. We did Skid Row one year for Christmas, and it's heartbreaking. Because you could tell a lot are obviously there because of their habits and their choices, a lot. But there's, you know, like the people with their kids, and that's really hard to look at, like, man. And that's the main reason why I wanted to go, because my kid's really ungrateful. My oldest, she's horrible. And I told her we're going to go help out the homeless people for Christmas. That's going to be your gift.
So she gets to see
We
it.
did give her a gift anyway, but you know, sometimes it's like these kids just are so set in their ways. They don't care about your struggle, your sacrifice, or the privilege that it is to get certain things, you know? And look, that's my kid. She's really
Just
ungrateful.
food, just like water.
Since she was
The
little.
privilege to use the restroom.
Yes.
You know, like we have that. We're very privileged to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
be able to drive, you know, like.
And it's heartbreaking, like, man.
It sucks when you weren't able to drive, right? Like, and then you gotta like find a way to do everything or drive illegally and risk everything, you know? It's like,
Yes,
it
I
really
know.
sucks.
That
Driving's
too,
a privilege, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
it is. And it sucks. Like, just the other day, our cars broke down, and like for 2 weeks, we were like on foot and with rides, and it just sucked, you know? And it's like, damn, like,
people are like that every day to day. you know?
Yes,
Like,
and
they have
it's
to take the
like,
bus or because they got a
man.
DUI, something that just set them back, you know? And it's like, yeah.
yeah, no, you need to count your blessings, people. Teach your kids, because I do see a lot of disrespect with today's generation. And I don't know, I always blame it on YouTube. Every time my kids add up, I'm like, it's on the YouTube you guys watch. Turn it
Those
off.
pranksters. and all
But yeah,
that.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, guys, you need to instill respect and all that into your kids. You know, I see a lot of lost conversation too within families. The other day it was Mother's Day, and a lot of people were joking about Happy Mother's Day to the tablets and the iPads. It's the truth. Like, how I personally, I don't like it. The tablet, phones, that is the absolute last resort. But a lot of my friends, like, here, get away from me. It's like, why? Like, just talk to your
right?
kid.
It's like when you're going out to eat, like, that's the moment. Like, you're eating, and then when you're going out to, like, do something fun, that's the moment.
Yes,
you know?
and that's when they want to be stuck on everything. It's like, no, talk to us. It's crazy. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to your kids, guys, because we need to keep the family together. That's what keeps families united, I think. Conversation, scoldings, and good times.
Right? Yeah. You gotta teach, lead by example, you know?
Yeah, you do. You have to. Obviously, you said you've been in trouble with the law before. Trespassing, have you ever been busted for that?
So, luckily enough, I've done like over 40 videos and...
None.
Yeah.
Good for him.
None.
See, professional.
Yeah, knock on wood, you know?
That's good. That's good.
But it's because I stake out these places. I go to places that sometimes you could go to. And yeah, I go to places that are deserted, just in the middle of the desert that, like, I think if the cops were to come, like, they're not even going to care because they're in the middle of nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like to, document a lot of those places.
Yeah. They're, like I always tell people, I'm putting places on the map. Like, you would never think this was here. Or, like, I have a following that's in jail. I have an older following that obviously aren't, like, as mobile. And I have a lot of people back east and the Midwest. They're not from over here. So a lot of the videos that I personally put up are like, wow, like, for that moment, that 20 minutes, half an hour, I feel like I'm there. And that's where it's at, like, like, at the same time, we're learning together because we don't know these places, so let's go check it out. And like, there you guys see another piece of history, whatever, that you guys didn't even have an idea was here. So I agree with you.
And I actually have been, like, caught by security guards and things like that, but most of the time I'm just like, I'm trying to document this place, take pictures of this place. We ain't doing nothing wrong, I'm just on private property. But a lot of times I just get out of here, finish, do everything.
Main concerns are always vandalism anyway.
We were at this place, Eagle Mountain. It's an old mining town. It's a ghost town. It has like over 500 homes abandoned, We explored almost every one of them. We were trying to get into the jail, and then a security guard the security guard was just pulling up in a white van, right? It was like a truck. And we were just like, we were right in the open, we just tried to hide, and he's like, get up, like, and we were like, we told him what we were doing. He's like, you don't have permission to be here, that they're filming something in the back, and he's like, you can mess all this up. And but he was more concerned, like, he told us that he hears stuff, he sees stuff, all that, he feels stuff, like, everything about that place is haunted, He told us the whole story. And then he just walked us out and said that we have to watch out for snakes and all that stuff because the nearest town was like 2 hours away.
Yeah, that's not good. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. So with all this, your channel and everything, where do you hope to get?
So I want to explore literally the whole entire world at one point, like, and get to expand and, to collab with a lot of people and, and just stay original, though. That throughout the whole journey, I want to stay original. Like, I've seen other YouTubers switch up and start doing illegal places and only stick to that glitch after they explored abandoned places, and it's kind of like they sold out.
I was gonna ask you that. Okay, you do all the urban abandoned stuff. Do you ever see yourself switching it up?
I believe I would do also some legit places like the Queen Mary and things like that, but also still keep it urban, exploring, and I'll always keep it like that, but I still feel like there's a lot more places to explore that are, legit places too.
Yeah, every corner is like an unturned rock for different people. Like, we've been talking and there's like, what, like I
just get that same urge every time I explore. That's kind of like as if I was painting graffiti or as if I was going out there and skateboarding.
It's
or
a
if
rush.
it's just like, I'm a kid again and I'm out there just exploring and like just having that rush.
Trust me, I know
and
that.
Adrenaline, and it's like, I get all that adrenaline just
like my friend's like, why? It's like, why not? I don't know about
some people don't get it.
I want to see it.
And then there's people that are like the girl from my church, she just wanted to go, she's intrigued about it. And then she started talking about this place in Redlands where the Native Americans were at one point, and it's very haunted, like very haunted. She started telling me about all this, that she's seen actual like spirits walking and stuff.
Write your list, guys.
So people are pretty open-minded, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. And those are the like I said, for me, it's all like, honestly, educational. Because you don't even know, you open your door and you don't have an idea of what happened there 60 years ago.
Exactly.
You know, I started getting into all this, and yeah, like I've always been a big old history like nerd. Like I love to know what happened. You know, there's been so many like different cases that I've found out local that are like, what the heck? Like the Chinese massacre, you know, that was horrible. Then we have like the Black Wall Street. That was another what the hell.
You know where the first avocado was
No.
made at? The Ross avocado, right? The main one?
Yeah, no.
You know where it was founded? In Hacienda Heights. And there was a tree there, but they transferred the tree or something somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
But that's just history. You can go to like the house where it was at there and just know that guy, he planted the first one, and then he copyrighted it. So like nobody, you know, and it was the first like food to be copyrighted.
See, that is so cool. See, read, people.
The Hass avocado.
Everybody's like, I'll just watch your stuff. I don't want to read. It's like, well, then you're going to wait. But no, a lot of like my people are like, you should talk about this. You should talk about that. So like, yeah, my show's all over the place. Like I talk, you know, I've always done wanting to do interviews. Because to me, I just feel like Latinos in general miss out on a lot because we're always too ashamed or embarrassed to talk about stuff. So I had a big issue with birth control pills that almost killed me about 7 years ago. So my whole thought behind that was bring awareness, talk about stuff, stop being embarrassed to compare or ask questions since you won't go to the doctor. I don't know about the people you know, but the people we know, unless you're literally dying, that's when they're like, okay, I'll go to the doctor then, you know?
We grew up in the same times, you know, like everybody like that, like they don't want to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Like, my mom's like that. She don't want to go to the doctor.
So it's like
know?
compare.
No, she has to. It's
story,
like worse.
Hear about it. You know, the know is
raise
where
awareness,
it's at. Yes.
So you know, like if you're having this symptom, then
yes, it's
this,
not normal,
you know,
or this, or if this is what you went through, this is my notions. I went through this. It might be okay, you know. So yeah, it's like educational purpose, period. And at the same time, learn something historical. There's so much everywhere, you know. There is another situation where I thought I was gonna die of a brain tumor. So my deal was like, if I leave tomorrow, my oldest will remember me, but my little girl was only 1.5 years, 2 years old. What's gonna happen with her? And my husband's very shut down person. If I'm gone, he won't talk about me. He won't show them videos of me.
You don't want the reminder of it, right?
His whole deal's like, I'm just gonna close the book and it never happened because it bothers me to talk about it. Well, what about my kids, you know? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record us going to places. And that's why I've even mentioned before, like on our videos when we're out, you never see me in any of the videos because my kids are growing and I want them to see how I seen the day through my eyes. I wasn't in it because I'm filming everything.
Because you know, when you're a kid, you don't even appreciate that stuff.
Exactly.
But then, like, if you had that documentation or video, you go back to, it's like, whoa.
So it's like,
you know?
what better way to be public on YouTube where they could just type in my name and, oh my God, there's my mom, you know? And we're going on almost 4 years of, like, looking and investigating actual places and, you know, studying up on them. And like I said, a lot of it is educational in that sense that it's all local history that nobody talks about, you know?
The news don't talk about it.
Yeah,
the news is
they
talking
don't.
about like dumb COVID, presidents, and just stuff that's not even history. And then in school, they don't even teach real history. They're teaching like
stuff that they want you to know.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, this is what we're saying, and this is what you're gonna know. That's it. So, you know, yeah, it's like to me personally, like I said, it ain't about getting money, although it would be nice, but it's more about having that paper trail that's there. Learning as I show other people things too, and my kids, so they can see, like, you know, my mom really did love me. Like, here we are again, you know, this. It's like, I don't know. To me, I'm really like emotional. Like, to me, my family is everything. I've always just wanted to be a mom. That's it. I remember first grade, they're like, well, what are you going to be when you grow up? Like a mom. No, but what are you going to do with your life? Like your job? Like nothing. I'm going to be a mom. Like, no, you have to have a job. Like, no, I'm going to get married and I'm going to have kids. I'm going to be a mom. And the teacher was like really upset with me. And now I get it as I'm grown. Like, you should be more than just a mom. But even right now, I wouldn't trade being a mom for anything. It is really frustrating at times because before being a mom, I was a somebody. But then
it's like choosing to be selfish or choosing your kids.
Yes.
Right? You know, I have that fight sometimes too, and it's like you gotta choose.
And I always think in my head, okay, your kids only need you 13 years of their life because that's when they're clingy. After that, think back. Once you hit 14, you were like, I don't want to be with them. Like,
I'm already an adult. I know what to do.
I don't want to be with you. Like, I'm out. So it's like, that's where I'm at with my oldest right now because she's too cool for everything. Like, she is like too cool. So it's like my little one's 5 and I'm just like, oh my God, like she's going to school this year. I am so heartbroken already. Like, I signed her up last week and I'm just like counting down the days that I have with her. Like, oh my God.
And be like that parent that like I see them on the side of the school and they're all standing there, you know, just looking through the fence like this, like, and there's like 8 of them, like just right there, like, you know. And I see that because I take packages to the post office every day, and I see them like my daughter right now is in. It's like a home school, but it's a Head Start program.
Yeah. Well, see,
but then like the next year, she's gonna have to plan to do either school or to do homeschool. You know?
My stomach just dropped all over. It's hard for me.
And then all the stories I hear about the schools is just bad. Like in West Covina, this guy was like watching porn on his phone and like recording them.
Like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that was one of my barbers. The guy that cuts that guy's hair. That happened to his kid. His kid was there. And I'm like, what? And then you see the picture of the guy. He looked like a weirdo. You know?
You never know. I covered a story of a custodian with a kid too. Like, también 2 months ago. And it's just hard and heartbreaking. But that's why I always say, like, to me, family is where it's at. Like, this is it. And it's hard because everybody has their own characters and attitudes. So it's like, why can't you just do what I say, you know?
Right.
But
I'm trying to look out for you, you know?
Nah, it is. Like my kid, she does like band and this and that. Like, man, I still cry when I go see her and I'm just, you know, fighting back tears and she's getting her certificate and I'm like so sad. She's promoting in 2 weeks. She's done with elementary school. So I already like, I'm crying just thinking about it. Like, that's it. We went for her outfit the other day and the whole time I'm just pissed off because she was the devil. The whole 3 hours, she didn't like anything. I was so angry. I said, you know what? You deal with her. I'm not doing this. I'm done. But it's like, oh my God, like she's really going to middle school now. Like, man, it's sad. It sucks so bad. Right. I don't know why I'm into all this detail, but yes, I do it for my kids in the paper trail and I love it.
Right? That's exactly why I do it too.
Yes. In your opinion, with all the stuff you've checked out, what has been the funnest, the most complicated, the most dangerous, and where have you learned the most out of?
So I would say the most funnest place I've ever been to was the Lincoln Heights jail in LA. And now it's just like, it's been locked up for probably like 7 years. I've been going back and forth trying to get in, and it's just, there's a security guard there 24/7.
No.
And when I went, the door was wide open. I think the fire department had just used it like to do, you know, like patrol or to like train. Like they trained there or something.
So they left it open.
Mm-hmm. So it was open. I went in. There was people painting on every single floor, like, you know, just tagging it up. So there was a lot of people there, but I got to explore every single floor, everything there, and I didn't get it on video.
I was just gonna say, did you record?
Like, at that time, I wasn't recording videos. I did photography and stuff, so I didn't record videos. But I got like to see like there was a gym still there, the cafeteria, everything was still there in mint condition. Like, and I went on the top, and it was a yard, you know, like, yeah, we explored everything there. Like, the cells were all still there. I think they shot the movie, what was it, American History X or something like that. They shot some movies there, yeah, about the jail there. And then somebody that was famous was housed there, too. That was a criminal. I forgot his name. Al Capone, I think, was.
Al Capone's been everywhere.
Right? He's been there. He's been in San Francisco. He used to have a house right here, right?
We went there.
Yeah.
That's what I had told you. Oh my God, the people that live there are horrible. The lady flipped me off.
Oh yes, I saw your post.
Oh my God. I was like, what the hell is wrong with her? Like, I get it.
Did you not know that whose house it was? Right?
You know,
Did she,
with the
not
big
know?
C initial on the damn chimney, your neighbors should at least tell you, like, hey, do you know? If you don't
You know what happened here.
You know.
Like,
Al Capone was crazy. Did you know he ran TJ really heavy too?
see, I don't even know that history about him, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I've been trying to go over the border for a long time, but you know how it's been really crazy? Now it's been. Before that, he's like, I'm not going. It's like, well, then I'm going by myself. Like, I'm going over there.
I've been trying to want to go to, try the food out there and stuff like that, but like, I didn't get my passport because I heard it's like,
well, you could still come back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool without one. It's easier with one, obviously, but yeah.
and then I heard it's like better to fly in sometimes too because you beat that border, you know?
The border's horrible. One
Yeah.
time we were there, me and my sisters, about 5 hours just to come back. Oh my God, it
The
was
whole
horrible.
day, you know?
And I had like, let's just get out of here because I had been there before and it took us 40 minutes to cross. So I was like, I'll just eat when we get on that side.
Oh, you had to wait.
I was cranky. I was late. I was pissed. Oh my God. My sisters are just shooting the shit in the front. And I'm just like, shut up already. God. You know, I'm the old hag in the back seat. But yeah, it gets crazy sometimes. But yeah, right there's a lot of history too. But yes, if you didn't know, I will get into it. Al Capone ran parts of TJ heavy too. Yeah,
That's
all his
crazy.
freaking bootlegging. There was nothing gonna stop that guy. He's just like, just throw it in the water. Let's go. So yeah, it's crazy.
So I learned the most. What I've learned from the most from a place, I would say, I've been to a lot of places that I've learned like almost, you know, but yeah, it would be that desert center. And that video did pretty good. That was like probably my best video right now, and I just learned a lot about the town. People were commenting on it, telling me about their experiences there, and they used to live there, and how what I was looking at, and things like that, you know, and whose house that was, and yeah, that video, and then also my other video with Eagle Mountain, I saw like just a lot of history that was just there, like, you know, they had a church, school, just everything was still.
Yeah. Would you ever consider maybe writing a book?
A book? I've thought about it, yeah. You know, about exploration and things like that too. Urban exploring.
Yeah. Pictures, a lot of pictures.
Yeah, you know.
Somebody over there won't pick up a book unless it's full of pictures.
You gotta have pictures to see what you're,
Yeah.
you know, reading about, yeah.
No, yeah, I think, yeah, like that's what I'm in the middle of myself, doing a book. And honestly, I have several books that I have in the making right now, but I was throwing the whole idea behind Amazon. So I need to see what the royalties are like in the whole process because they make it sound very easy. And I don't believe nobody. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of
what's the
hard,
catch,
like,
you know?
when you get to like, I don't know, like, I tried to sell on Amazon and it was really hard with like the barcodes. You have to create like certain barcodes and you have to get it registered.
The IBMS or whatever.
Yeah. So it could be pretty difficult, and
So
they charge a lot.
right now, my people already know I have a little, I call it a bullshit book, a sample, just to see what the process with them is. Obviously, I am going to get real serious with it because I do have a lot of things that I want to put into books, but that whole process of self-printing versus printing, you know, it's like, I'm new to all of it. So it's like, but yeah, like, that's why I ask you because, like, we've been discussing, it's so many places that people have never even imagined existed, you know? So it's like, why not put it in a book and put it out there? Like, here.
Yeah, you know, and then they have it right there.
Learn
It could be in a
something.
library or in a school or
Yeah,
you know?
I love books. I read off of them. I wish I had no obligations besides just sitting there like a tonta reading all freaking day. But I love it. You know, my little one, don't let me. Nothing. It's like, mom, all day. So it's like, oh, and then I have to get up and cook. Or
right, it's like hard to read a book, but then your kid's right there like
Yeah, and like I really,
To get into
I
the
have
book.
some of my collection here, and as well you can't see, but it's a lot of like the historical. I like those images across America, how they get into specific
Oh, you got
areas.
like Route 66.
Yes, I'll show you.
And there's all just like a bunch of areas.
Yeah,
Bigfoot. The art
the
history.
unknown. I like to know the unknown. Like, is it true? Is it not? Like, I'm a big foot believer. I really am.
And then they say it could be like a big person, you know what I mean? Like a big person that's like hairy or something, you know, and they're just walking around.
There's reports as close as Lido Creek in the 60s, was it? 70s?
And then what about skinwalkers?
See, I believe in those
Yeah,
too.
you heard of skinwalkers?
I have a friend in New Mexico, the Navajo Nation.
That's what they say they're at, right? It's like out there, skinwalkers.
And I'm not going to say his name, but he assures me that, yes, they do exist. And he would know. He's native.
Right.
So he's like,
and a lot of native people too, they say they see them.
Oh, a lot.
So it's,
supposedly out there, their legend is that they are mountains. So there's mountains. There's, I think, 3: a dark, a red, and a white. So that's where you get your like Yeti and this and that. It's great. Like, he got into it with me with detail, but I forgot, so I have to go back and look at our conversation again. But the way he explained it to me makes all the sense. So it's like, oh, okay, you know, yeah, the white ones would be the Yetis. You know, they're light, white, hairy monsters, whatever they are. So it's like, huh. But no, to me, I believe there is so much we don't know about. So it's like, why not keep an open mind? Because there's so much, like just the UFOs these last year. How is it
that they're actually putting out there now?
Yes,
like the Vegas
and
thing.
It's like crazy. You know? Like, there's so much to that. I have a story where I know we seen one, and I tell people, and they're just like, it's like.
One time I was driving on the freeway, and I was driving back home, and one time I saw the whole entire sky just turn green, and then it turned right back.
See?
At nighttime, you know what I mean?
Was
it
this
just,
like up
it lit up all green. No, I was right here on the freeway, right here on the 10. The whole thing, and it was like really late, just lit up green, and then like it would then like.
Yeah, a split second, huh?
Yeah, like a malfunction in the world. It was weird.
Mine was in Los Baños, and it was like fire in the sky because like we were driving his cousin back from San Francisco. And right there in Los Baños is a two-lane highway. One to go, one to come. There's nothing in between, all dark. There's not even like freeway light, nothing. So it's like whatever you see with your headlights, that's what you see.
It's like on the 5 going towards San Francisco, and you just see
up
like
there. Yes,
black.
that's exactly, yeah.
Right?
So he's asleep in the front seat because he had gone to work, and we just left right after work to go get her because they had got evicted and their house was like boarded up. So we're like driving back, and this was a little bit past 3 in the morning. So I'm driving back, and she's in the back, and we're just talking. So all of a sudden, there's this light coming from, I'm driving this way, the light's coming this way. It's super bright, like field, like high school field football lights, you know? So I thought it was a plane. So I'm still talking, and it's coming closer and closer and closer. And at this point, everything looked like daytime. It was lit the hell up. So now it was like so bright, I couldn't even keep my eyes open, you know, because it was like, oh my God. So she tells me, we're gonna get hit by the plane. So I was like, oh my God. It was just kept coming down. So at this point, I just put my foot on the brake, and I was waiting for the impact. It was that crazy, like, oh my God. So yeah, I put my foot on the brake, and I closed my eyes, and I was just bracing, like, that's it, I'm gonna die right now. The same light, you know how when you close your eyes, if it's light, you could still see? All of a sudden, it was gone. There was nothing there no more. So I opened my eyes, and I was like, damn, that was an easy death. Like, you know, where am I? Am I gone? Like, what happened? And she's all, what happened? I said, I don't know. I'm like, where did it go? She's like, I don't know. So I put the car on park, and I'm waking him up, like, get up. He's like, what? I'm all, get up. He's like, well, what? So I'm like outside in the middle of the road, and I'm looking like, okay, if it was a plane or anything in the sky, there is no way it disappears within a blink of an eye.
No.
You would see a trail. You would see something. There was nothing in the sky. And my friend's like, get in the car. It's going to take you. And I'm like, what's going to take? Like, what was it? I am convinced it was a freaking UFO. Like, it was, like, we were maybe too dumb for them. Like, they didn't take us. Like, fuck these people. We don't want them.
Right.
That was, like, crazy, though. I am very, very, like, 100% positive. I will put it on my life that it was something like that, because it was like exaggerating light and exaggerating time, like quick. When I looked at the clock, it was about 3:15ish. By the time everything was done and over, it was only like not even 3:20. And I was like waking him up, getting out, walking around, looking up, getting back, putting a seatbelt on. Like, it was crazy. I was like, there's no way this was a real freaking airplane or a helicopter or anything that we know that travels the skies. Like,
I want to go to that extraterrestrial town in Texas. Have you heard of it?
No.
They have like a whole town, and it's like all alien stuff. Like even the McDonald's is a big spaceship.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I guess it's because of like the sea, like they see
a lot.
Yeah. So they made the whole town like it, just like Area 51. You know?
Yeah.
How they have like the highway or whatever.
You have to go.
An interesting place.
They have a bunker there too that you can actually Airbnb. It's like $500 a night, and it's an abandoned missile bunker, and you go underground, and then they put like walls in it, so it looks normal, like like a room like this, but there's just no ceiling. So all the ceiling is like the missile silo thing,
Oh, cool.
I guess it was abandoned at one point because there's like graffiti up there.
See, and that's to show the point we're saying. People like to explore the unknown. Like, who would think to do an Airbnb in one of these places like that?
In a missile, silo that was a bunker that went down.
Yeah, like the craziest thing I've seen is like the teepees out there on the Rock 66 in like San Bernardino. Like, that's the craziest. Like, okay, this is cool, but like what you're saying, like I've never heard of it, but it's cool. Like, there goes to show you that people are interested, and if you build it, they will go.
Right. And like the most craziest place thing, like the exploration that I did, I think was recently. So recently I explored abandoned bunkers. These were like bunkers in San Pedro, right? And I've been there before, and
oh yeah,
I never got in. Like I never got underground, But this time when I got there was two random people there, right? And they're like they were like looking around at me because I was trying to look for a hole, and they're like, oh, there's no hole, and I was like, oh no, there's no hole. So then we had to jump the fence, and we jumped the fence. I went in with those guys, and then so those two guys, we went on an exploration together. Like,
you had just met them there?
I just met them right in the front.
Whoa.
Two random guys, yeah, and they were like, we'll open this little hatch that was literally like a crack this big to get inside. And like I felt it, I was like, there's no way, I'm gonna get stuck. And they're like, we'll hold it open for you, but you could go in and then we'll wait out here. And I was like, nah. I don't know, you guys are gonna lock me in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna be stuck here. Like, I'm scared to go in. I even told them I'm scared to go by myself in there.
Yeah.
Because it was a big bunker, and pitch black. And
like, never met these people in your life.
Never met them in my life.
Go.
You go first, buddy.
And then they were like, well, one of his buddies like, I'm down to go with you. I'm like, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. He's like, mother homie, wait outside. And then so they started opening it. We get inside, and then his other homie's like, I want to come in too. It's like, he's like, I made it in, and he got in, and we were all in there. And there was just so much history, controls, and just way less graffiti in there. It was just insane. Like, I have been there like so many times and never got to go inside there.
Do you ever bring home something with you?
No.
No?
No.
Like,
like take something?
Yeah.
No. I try not to, just because I feel like that's going to bring that energy, or,
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody like that passed that's still probably there, or and they really like that place, and you're just taking it, destroying
attachment to it.
Yeah, there's attachment, and that might bring something back with you,
Yeah.
Like, I heard people roam like their old places they used to work. Like, they'll haunt it and roam it because they were there all the time, longer than their own home or anywhere else,
Yeah. No, yeah, makes sense. I've taken a couple things only, like that cemetery I was telling you about right here in Pomona. There's this dirty, ugly, old $1 bill that was just like going in the wind, and it stopped on my foot. So I was like, hey, they're giving me $1. Like, I still have it, And then we went up here to the old golf course in Pomona too, which was Pomona Heights at one point. And yeah, we had got a couple golf balls that were still there. It's an abandoned place now.
It's been abandoned for a long time.
So we
it's right next to that weird creepy house on the hill.
Yes,
the lighthouse.
Yes.
It has like a abandoned boat next to it.
Yes.
We had an old check from 1958 that we found in Pueblo.
And the cops ripped it.
That was stamped for Christmas Eve for a gift.
1958.
That was a $25 check.
68, I think it was. Yes.
Longer.
Yeah. Whatever. It was really
25
old.
back then was probably like a lot. A lot.
The cops pulled us over on our trip, and they ripped it in half. Like, the checking fucking number was only 5 digits long. Like, we're not gonna commit fucking fraud with this
like
shit.
that person's probably
These
dead,
numbers
or,
don't even.
like,
The
who
bank
knows?
was from Colorado. Like this is not even exist.
It was all brittle and dirty. It's like, come on.
At least I had a picture of it, so it's there. But they fucking ripped it. I was like,
See,
so
something like that would
mad.
be cool, like that history that somebody's just gonna burn, or it might get burnt there, or it might just get like somebody's just gonna rip it up.
Yeah, thrown away. Cause once people development and this and that, Cuervo that goes down that side of the highway, there was places like the houses they just picked up and left. It's like, why? What happened here? And that's where he found a bunch of checks in like a little attic, and he took one. I was like, well, we'll put it in our scrapbook. I like to pictures of everything, so I was like, we'll just take it. So that was our first trip to the Midwest. Then like 2 months later, we went back up and we got pulled over. They ransacked our whole fucking truck, dirty underwear and everything. They didn't care. And they ripped the fucking check in half. And like they took the half, like he took it with them. I was like, what a dick. Like, man,
Right.
what the hell's the point of that? Like literally the checking account number was 5 numbers long. Be able to fraud anybody no more. Like, what's wrong with you? But whatever, I guess. If he thought it was the right thing to do, whatever. Since your first investigation to your now investigations, what have you noticed with the places you go to? Like, is there more places abandoned? Is there more things left behind? Is there more like vandalism? Like, what have you noticed with all these areas?
There's like way less places now in California, especially. A lot of places are getting demolished because of the homeless crisis and things like that. People are trying to stay warm in the winter, and then the places get burnt down. We've explored a church, and like half of it was burned down, and homeless people are living in it.
Yeah.
And that was actually the first mortuary in LA, and so it was like it had a lot of history, but it was just pretty much burnt. And a lot of places are getting like that. Like a lot of hipsters are getting into thinking that it's cool to go here and there, and some of the places are risky. Like there's a sunken city in San Pedro. Is a city that just sunk into the water, and a lot of it's just like you'll see crosses there because people have passed from falling.
Oh.
And when I went, it was like probably at least 60 people there. There's no trespassing signs everywhere, and there's like 60 people there. And when I was leaving,
What were they doing? Tagging or just
they're
hanging
smoking,
out?
drinking, like
That's like a full-on
everything,
party.
full on party though, yeah.
60 people.
A lot of people. And then when I'm leaving, there's the grandma, the grandpa, their dog, their kids, like a whole full-on family right there. And I'm like, they had to go through this little bar fence that says no trespassing on the side, and they just didn't care. Like, and they look like normal people, like.
That'd be us later.
But that's what I'm saying. Like places are just getting like, I don't know, like
No shame now.
Yeah.
No respect.
And no respect, and then like.
Okay, well, yeah. See, that's good to know. You've been exploring 20 years now?
For probably about just because I was a kid when I first started.
See, that's a real freaking pioneer right here. 20 fucking years. Tell me you've done that long.
When I was a kid, man, I would take the bus to downtown LA, go get stuff and shop and do all this stuff, explore everything. And I used to take the bus everywhere. I was probably like 13, 14 years old taking the bus.
But you weren't scared?
From San Gabriel Valley to LA, We used to take the bus to Venice Beach just to go explore Venice Beach, just to go over there and skateboard, paint, do whatever. And it was a place to be, like there was nothing cool out here.
Yeah, no. LA, wow. I love it out there.
But now kids don't even want to leave, like, their city, their...
My goal in life is to buy a freaking building in LA. I just love the buildings in LA. You will never see the 100-year-old structures built today, ever. The gargoyles, the details, the angels, it's like, wow. Like, he tells me, well, what the hell are you going to do with a building? Who cares? Like,
you got to buy the graffiti towers in downtown LA, the graffiti skyscrapers?
But that's too new for me. It's too modern. I like the old...
It has a lot of art, though, on it.
Yeah, it does. It does. We went out there, and I had to see this place for myself. So about 2 months ago, we drove down there.
I did the same thing.
Oh my goodness. I was like, it really is fucked up. Like, damn. But
all
it's cool.
angles, right? We did a 360 and you're like, dang.
Everywhere.
The newest, what's it called? Stadiums right there. And Kobe's just like pointing at the buildings.
Like, check it out.
This is LA. Go explore it,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like art though. It is. Like, I love I love life.
I feel like it's like bringing back the 2090s scene is coming like back, and a lot of kids are starting to
The
get
taggers.
into that painting and tagging and being creative, you know, like
Yeah. And it is a shame because it is illegal, so you do get in trouble. But I don't know. To me, it just seems like a safe hobby, like better than getting high. Better than going to shoot
when I was
somebody,
doing it,
you know?
that's literally like my friends were focused on doing ecstasy, all this stuff, and at the time I was just wanted to paint. I had an addiction to like painting, and I just kept getting in trouble, kept getting in trouble, you know. And if they had more like, I don't know, programs like they do now, like now they have programs even in church, where you can go and you could become a graphic designer, learning about, you know.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of opportunity now. Like here in Pomona, we have a school just for the arts, and
some people pay people for graffiti, you know, like they want it on the side of their building.
It's nice. It's nice to look at. Like I said, I love life and everything that comes with it. Like I'm an open mind to pretty much everything. Like, okay, let's check.
But there is an extent, you know, like when you go to like the abandoned places and like this place is a historical place and they're ruining it. You know,
that's what sucks. Or when you tag up a mural. That I think that's
now
so
they're
disrespectful.
just putting their gang over a mural. You
like
know?
There's been a mural right here on Gary, across from Jack in the Box, forever since we've been here. It's been there, and just recently they tagged on it. And when we drove by, this one's like, "What the heck?" He's all like having a fit. I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Look." I was like, "Oh, that's sad," you know? Yeah.
Because they're just disrespecting that person's art, and especially if they're like. They don't have no art to put over it.
Yeah, it's just like, writing.
You know?
Stupid writing.
Yeah, it just has no respect, you know?
It's like, oh, that hurt everybody's heart. The old Panteon over here, the cemetery, same thing. They tagged up all over the memorial plaque outside.
See, I had like, when I was a kid, I wouldn't tag on churches. I wouldn't tag on like, you know what I mean? I had respect for certain places. I wouldn't tag on people's personal properties because I know how that hurts you as a person. And I was a kid at the time, you know? But now kids, they don't have that same respect.
No, nobody cares.
I had respect for my older, elderly people. I had respect for everyone, you know? And now kids don't have respect for younger people, older people, for anything, you know? It's kind of like selfish. A lot of kids are very selfish now, you know?
The love is lost, guys. See, talk to your kids.
Right? You gotta guide them to that right.
I know you've said that your big support group was your church, your wife, your family. Who else would you say gives you the support that you have, you know, that you get to keep going with this?
I would also like to shout out like everybody that follows me on social media. On my Instagram platform, I feel like a lot of people supported me when me and my friend stopped exploring together, and he didn't want to explore anymore. He just didn't want to do the channel anymore, I guess. And so we stopped, but a lot of people from my Instagram like still supported me and they wanted it. You know, like they kept telling me that they wanted it. And that's what kept me going. And then there was people that like they would message me like, "Oh, thank you for messaging me back. You really like saved my life." And this and that wanted to do stuff. And I'm like, wow, there's like a impact that I can impact. You know, I have a certain small following, but I impact a lot of those people. You know, they look up to my videos. They want me to upload every week.
And it's hard.
You know?
Like when I've been sick these last couple like months, because you know it's like the cold. I have a really weak immune system. After those birth control pills that I got, like it just shot my system. Anything gets me freaking sick. And I've noticed since then, like I've always been kind of sickly as an adult, but after that, like for good, I'm like, that's it. And right away, like I don't post nothing for a week. Where have you been? Are you okay? What are you doing? You need this. You need to. So it's like, thank you guys. You give me going.
They just want more and more, and it gets you to keep going and going and going.
So it's like
you know?
cool. Like I get that from you.
And even though I have like a small following right now, I feel like they're like so loyal to me.
But it's because you know what? It'll eventually grow once they discover you. You know, like there's so much. Like the YouTube is the new TV now. Like I mentioned earlier, I noticed TV. Look, all you have is, you know, you stream stuff. You got Netflix, Hulu, that kind of stuff. There's no really live TV anymore. So everything is either YouTube.
It's fake. Everybody's faking everything now. So it's like, you want to see something real, where are you going to turn to?
Yes. So YouTube, either they stumble upon you or somebody, hey, check them out, and that's how they find you. But they'll come. I know they will. Like with me, I've been doing this 3 years, and like I said, sit downs, I had to delete a lot because you guys know. And like a lot of the newer people that find me are just like, man, you're still so good, blah, blah, blah. And I keep them on the edge of their seat too, because they don't know if I'm going to go check someplace out. you're my first interview for 2 years, so they're probably like, what the hell, like, again, you know, like, I haven't done this, and they used to love it all the time, you know, talk about this, talk about that, you know, and, you know, it's just one of those things, like, your channel will grow, because you got a lot of cool stuff, and you investigate in detail. That spa drill video was great, like, your editing is the shit, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Thank you.
Mine is like,
and that's taken
whatever.
a long time to get to be there, you know what I mean? It's like, it's like a lot of trial and error, and just learning every day how to be better, you know, and that's...
See, and then yours is easier than mine, because I talk a lot about, like, stuff that has happened, so it's that whole, like, freedom of act and this, like, there's certain things I can't just put a picture of. There's certain things I can't just, oh, you know, I'm gonna put a clip of this, because then I could get in trouble, you know, so I have to always remember to, it's courtesy of Google, it's courtesy of Channel 11, and, you know, at the end put, like, my whole, you know, the freedom of to use and act and blah, 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 you know, so it's, like, a lot of people don't know what we go through to edit, and
and you gotta re-edit, if say it's copyrighted, you gotta delete the upload and re-edit it.
And then it's like, how much is too much? Like me, I keep my shit real. Like, you hear me cuss, I cuss, and I'm sorry, and I always tell people I am very sorry, but that is me. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, oh, you know, no, like, I am who I am. You like me, you're with me. If you don't,
yeah, everybody on my channel, like, basically you're getting me, you know.
Yeah,
that's like what you're getting, and you're seeing.
See, that's what
that
I was gonna ask you too. Like, is your on-camera persona the same as when the camera is off?
No, I don't want to, like, portray some, you know. Yeah, I'm who I am, and I'm real for my people, you know. Like, that's really how I am.
Yeah.
That's why, just like, if something's not really there, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god,
yeah,
oh, you know, and like, or have
like Ghost Adventures,
like faking it, you know, like have a friend right there yelling, and it's totally acting, because it's real TV, like, you're watching the real thing, you know. If you were there, you would see the same thing I saw.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, that's what I think keeps people, like, wanting to check out your stuff. Like, you are raw and you are real. You're not staged. You're not, oh my god.
And the same for you, likewise, you know. It's like, that's what people want, though. And
yeah.
In the long run, we're gonna recognize real, and, you know, fake, it just doesn't last. Like, when you're fake and you're trying to get that fast following, a lot of people will go find somebody else real quick.
Yeah.
You know, real quick. But when you're real, they kind of stick to you. Like, whoa.
See, like, I have the tendency to Spanglish a lot, but that's me.
And you probably have followers that, like, are into that. You know what I mean?
have
like,
a lot. Like, a while back,
there was, or, you know, and that, you know.
A while back, there was a man that told me that I sounded uneducated because I'm Spanglishing. Okay, for the record, I was brought up straight Mexican paisa family, where my father thought it was disrespectful to speak English in front of him because he wasn't fluent with
and
it.
He never spoke English, right? Back to you. So if you spoke English, he wouldn't even speak
As a grown adult, I worked with my dad for many years, and then after, he would throw it in my face, I don't know English because you wouldn't talk to me in English. Like, shut up, Dad. Whatever. Okay? To me, my first, you know, language, my first tongue was Spanish. I married a man that doesn't know Spanish. He won't speak Spanish.
I don't know Spanish either.
So I always say, like, I'm too paisa for the Americanized people, and I'm too Americanized for the like, I cannot win.
Yeah, because a lot of, like, true Mexican people won't respect you if you're like a Chicano. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, if you're Mexican American,
but it's like,
they don't respect
you guys.
that.
Love me back.
Like, they're straight
from
Mexico, so they don't respect that. They don't. You had no struggle because you were born here, and they're like, it's a struggle to get past it.
And
you know what I mean?
It's just the whole language barrier. Like, I think in Spanish before I can think and reflect in English. It's like crazy. Like, it's automatic to me, you know? And he's always correcting me, like, no, that's not. Like, I just go with it and leave me alone, you know? There. Like, if I can't think of the word in English quick, it's going to come out in Spanish because that's how I know it, you know? So I Spanglish a lot because a lot of my stuff, I write my facts down and I go through them like I've been. But, you know, if I can't come to it quick, then I say it how it comes out. And, you know, and yeah, there was a guy talking about, oh, you sound real uneducated. Why do you talk like that? It's like, well, why do I talk like what, you know?
It's called Spanglish, you know,
and
you
yeah,
don't know it.
There was people that jumped in like, hey, it's Spanglish. It's an English mixed language. You know, we find it fine. We understand her. Thank you guys for the ones that stood up for me. And that's what I told them. I said, look, I'm not for everybody. My content, I get it. But with the title of my show, Comadriando aquí con café, meaning it's all in Spanish, I think you would kind of get an idea of what the content would be.
What you're watching and you're supporting.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's hard to be legit, like a real person. It's just hard to get that respect from the people.
It's a real thing too, because I watch people that are Spanglish.
Yeah.
YouTubers, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they're literally, that's their YouTube. Like, a lot of Mexican people watch them, so they're going to want to speak Spanglish. Just to, you know what I mean?
To get everybody involved. And that's what I've been told.
Don't let you feel left out. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I've been told.
Imagine going to a church and it was like you didn't know the language.
Yes.
And you ain't going to understand nothing. You ain't going to get nothing from it, you know?
Yeah.
So they got to like throw in the little things to get you to understand.
There's my friend that told me, like, you know, I sat down and I watched you with my grandma, and she don't speak English, but she understood everything you were talking about. And then I'm like, well, how was that show? Well, she understands here and there, but because of your hooks and this and that, she understood the whole thing. She's like, I really like her. Put her on when you come back again. So it's one of those things, like, you have to be who you really are. You know?
Exactly. You're not going to change for one comment, you know what I mean? Or for
I'm
this
not.
person that's behind a screen that wants to make your day.
And then my guy, to top it off, was the God guy. It's like, how are you going to sit there and
say about God and you're going to judge somebody?
And so religion and Jesus, and then turn around and try to insult people by calling them uneducated. It's like, I was like, what the hell is going on?
To follow what they preach, you know what I mean? Like,
yes. All right, so people following, like we're talking about. If there is somebody, a kid or just an unprofessional explorer checking us out right now, and they want to do this whole urban exploring, what would your advice be to them, or a little pep talk? What would you tell them?
I would, definitely tell them don't go alone, like me, you know. If you're going to do it, go with your friends, and also go somewhere like the Queen Mary, or somewhere where we have hundreds of historical places, historical landmarks. If you're driving on the freeway, you'll see signs that say historical landmark number.
The bear.
You know, number, whatever it is, you know. And that's all over the world. Like, they have historical landmarks everywhere that you can go and legally visit, you know? And a lot of those places are really cool. That's where I would start. If I was to start and I didn't want to get in trouble for it, didn't want to, risk too much, I would go to places like that. And if you're into ghost hunting, there's a lot of that there too, because it's historical places. Like cemeteries, they're public property, you know? Like, you can go there.
The Mission, when we went to the Mission in San Fernando last year, tell me why we walk in and the freaking the glass cases started shaking. There's no earthquake, no nothing.
What? In San Gabriel?
Yeah, San Fernando.
Oh, San Fernando Valley?
I caught it on tape. It's on one of the videos. Yeah, it was crazy. We walked in, and it's the room where they have all the priests. They have their old like the getup, the gowns and stuff with the things. The whole room had them. Like, this belonged to so and so, so and so. So right when we walk in, the glass starts shaking everywhere. I was like, oh my God. So I kind of stood there like, is it an earthquake? Did a big truck drive by? Like, you know what? No, it was just that room. So that's your advice. Start off light with permission.
With permission, yeah. So that way you don't fall into like security, cops, just,
And document it. Bring your camera, record.
Yeah, make sure to record everything, because you might go somewhere that you won't be able to get into, and you get into it, and then,
and that's it.
You get all that history.
Keep your SD card, keep your memory on your phone light.
You keep your phone charged.
Yes.
I've been to abandoned places too, where it's drained my battery. I had that camera right there, and then I had there was a light on the camera, right? And I didn't use the light, and the light was fully charged when I got there, because I looked at it in the car. Like, I turned it on and made sure, I made sure everything was good, because I was going to this motel, and I was like, oh, if I'm going to go in the rooms, it might be dark or something, So then I checked it out, and then I was like, oh yeah, 100%, turned it off. And then when I got back, I was right there at the car, and I turned it back on right there, and it was at 0%. I was like, what? Being in there drained my battery.
The devil. The devil. Okay.
That was weird.
Okay, so we're wrapping it up. Is there anything you want to add that I might have forgot or I didn't ask you?
Pretty detailed.
Yeah,
You know?
it is
Yeah,
detailed.
yeah,
I was
right.
like, oh, I'm so professional.
Any big future plans?
Yes.
Any big future plans? Yes, I want to do a road trip to Arizona and do the whole Route 66 thing.
You'll like
You know,
it.
and
Yes.
go explore the Pancake House. There's like a bunch of abandoned places that are just like all out there.
Border of New Mexico and Arizona. Check out Pie Town. Oh my God, huh?
Yes.
Pie Town. It's a must.
Yeah, most definitely. I got to do more traveling, and then I'm gonna be uploading every single week. That's gonna be until I hit 1,000 subscribers, and then once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm planning on uploading more.
You're close. You're what, 400 away?
Yeah.
He's close, so give him a follow, guys, okay? He knows you got it from La Comadre B, so give him that
Right.
follow, help him out, keep him going. Look, he's so excited. All right, guys, so we find you where on YouTube again?
At Brandon Explored This, and yeah, you'll see a new video every single week. Guys, check out this video on Monday, right?
Yeah, we're doing Monday, so.
Thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I really
Yes, this is
appreciate
so
it,
cool.
and yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Con eso los dejo el día de hoy. I hope you guys enjoyed my first official interview in my studio, on air. Show them the on air in the back. And I got a freaking light and everything.
It's sick.
Sorry, guys, I just had to show you.
We're still under construction.
Yes, we are a big time. Oh my God. All right, guys, have a nice, safe weekend. Remember, please don't drink and drive.
Yes.
Call your mom, call your dad,
Call
call the
Uber,
nephew, call anybody.
Lyft.
But do not drink and drive, guys. It is not worth it. Stay safe, stay sane. Los adoro, raza. Bye.